perspective for the other people, but my own perspective, I just want to let you know, life in Qatar is very expensive. For people who may not know, life in Qatar is very expensive. Reason being that why life in Qatar is very expensive is that everything is available for you. Everything you need is available, and if you're not so wise enough, sometime you may find that you whatever you earn will be spent on what you see or what will be available for you, and you may end up not even having to save a little bit for yourself. You may have to end up staying here for quite a number of years or number of times or years without even see the savings that you have for yourself. By the way, is it your first time to come across this channel? Don't forget to hesitate, and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and don't forget to support Mix from the Mexcreationtv and the TikTok account. Yes, we look at some of life in Qatar. Everyone life in Qatar perceives this indeed different. Yes, to my own perspective, I'll give you life in Qatar, that what you should know before coming to the Qatar. What is life like in Qatar? Where do you definitely need to do, and what you do need to do definitely to see that you can partial up to get to spurt, and what definitely. For a few reasons, life in Qatar is very expensive, you see, because everything is paid for. Some of people that we left home, some of people you left wherever you are, they may assume that you're getting a lot of money comparing it to what is when it's being converted back to home currency, but which may not be the case. Yes, one reason you are paid a lot of money. Yes, you are paid money, or you are paid money comparably to what you earn from your country, depending on the foreign exchange, different foreign exchange. But remember, the standard of living, the cost of living here is a little bit high, and everything that's available when you need to spend, you'll find that if you're not so very careful, that you may not even have to save a little bit for yourself. We look at things like, we look at rent, we look at transportation, which some to us may not be a priority, but which may not be a priority, but to some may be a priority. So definitely getting to see how definitely you can handle both of them, or to live within both of them, then it can enable you to live in this country. So most of you will agree with me, this Qatar is a tax-free money, but definitely also what you need to spend on is a lot. Imagine you have to go to the grocery and you have to buy food for 100 riyal, or what you call to 100 riyal, which may not be even equivalent to some food, may be a kilo or 2 kilos that you have to buy from the grocery. And when you get to convert back the same money to your country, you may see you are coming back from the market with a huge basket, or with two big huge baskets full of items from the market, which may not be the case with it here. Then when you look at number two, look at what we call rent. Rent, definitely will agree with me, rent in Qatar is expensive. Yes, in this context we are going to look at you who is not given what we call a company accommodation, that you have to rent. You look at the bed space. Some of you will stay in the bed space, and you need to pay like something like around between 300 to 500 per month. And remember, it's a very shortcut place. You're only paying for the bed. There is no luxury for space. And most of those places that we definitely would dream of going to stay, we cannot go to these places, being that these places are high-end places and they require a lot of money, which may be comparative when you're trying to convert back to your home currency. It will be a lot of money. When you definitely also get to convert back to dollars, it will partially be something that is a little bit bigger. So you find that rent, to those that earn a little bit less, especially for those that are doing what you call light blue collar job, you may not be willing. That's why you find that most of the companies are giving what you call rent, or giving accommodation to their workers. If you are not given, in that case, if you are not given accommodation by your company, and your company is subsidiary giving half of the accommodation, and then the only means that you need to have to commute is only be by using the cheaper means, which may be metro, which is a little bit cheaper at a 2 riyal per what you call a flow journey for you, and meaning that 10 riyal or 3 riyals you can have a car that can make you move what you call the whole day or the whole period of time. So at a different cost in one or the other. Then also we look at what you call the weather. Some of you will agree with me, even up to now some of you come into this country, but you failed to accustom to what we call the weather, because we are looking at two. We are looking at the winter and the summer. Which country will be capitalized by what we call the winter and the summer. So you find that the weather itself is a little bit questionable, that sometimes it's a little bit too harsh to some people, some few people, that may not be comparatively to have it in any way. So you find that this also if you're not that kind of body with a body which has a lot of immunity, which has a immunity self, then definitely you may end up that have to have a lot of incompetence in one or the other for that regard. Then also something that definitely I also want to talk about is what we call salary. Yes, we may agree that some companies that we are being paid salary that's equivalent, that's more than in our home country, but also something that we don't have to forget is the standard of living and the cost of living into this country. Then also you look at the lifestyle here. If you're not very careful, the salary that may be given to you or the lifestyle, you may end up that meaning that your salary has to be spent on other things. I told you there's a lot in Qatar. There's a lot of things that are available for you that you can do. There's everything from 10 to 1 to 100 to 100 million, all facilities or everything, entertainment and everything, that definitely you'll have them, and you have them. And if you're not very careful, you may not ever be able also to have something for yourself. You may be seeing that you are eating all the money and everything you don't have to spend. Then something also definitely I should let you something that you should know regarding lifeline and things that you should be avoid here is what we call breaking the law. Yes, breaking the law here comparatively, and definitely you will agree with me when you try to break the law. It may be either criminal, it may be forgery in any kind of nature. The only way that you will have is what you call deportation, and when you call deportation, then you may not be able to return into the country. So for those people, you agree with me, once you comply to the law, you follow the law, you follow the procedure. Remember, breaking the law or the law once it's broken does not know whether you are dumb or you cannot read or you cannot see. Once it's committed, then definitely it's your responsibility to know the rules and the regulations that are pertaining living in this country. So most of you will agree with me, apart from having that or apart from going that, definitely will agree with me that you can be able to live, and more capable you can be able to live in this country in one way or the other. Then also something that definitely I will talk about, and most of you will agree with me, is what we call the security of the country. The security of the country is partially very okay. The security of the country is partially good, as you can say. Yes, it's one way where you can move any time of the day, any time of the night. You can move and no one will stop you from moving. It's anywhere you can move and get regular help or a request for help. Then there's no way anyone that can move or can stop you. You already definitely have that hope in one way or the other. Then the two last one, the last but not least, I'll talk about what you call entertainment. Yes, most people ask, there is no entertainment. There's a lot of entertainment places that you can go for, but it will also look at what you call how much you need to spend or how much you are willing to spend for that entertainment. The entertainment will be from the small one to the classical, from the big one to the big one, from entertainment, from casinos, from Amazon, from hotels, from everything, from recreation center, from anywhere, from coffee shop, from food luxuries. So from shopping, that's part of entertainment for some few people. Some people may say, I may have to spend my money, I'll go shopping every Friday, I'll go big shopping. That will also depend on how much you are earning and how much you... Yes, lastly, and something I want to talk about is the language. Most of you talk about the languages, but definitely so I will not take it as a very major aspect of life. Although when you come here, definitely the basic that you need to know is that you need to know a little bit of the languages, depending on what kind of job that you're going to do in one or the other. Yes, when you look at the perspective of the languages, well, there are a lot of English speakers and there are a lot of Arabic speakers. That's what you'll agree with me. Most of the places that where we are working, we are not being recruited. Yes, there are some places, for example, the government sectors, where we're being recruited based on what you call the language, which is Arabic, but even English itself is widely spoken in this area. And you get a lot of opportunities where there's English, which is being spoken in the same way. So probably when we talk about what you call, the languages, we may not take it something. Although for you to have bigger horizon and bigger career development, you look at that perspective, you need to learn some of the few basics of the language, because you never know what it takes. You may be taken to a place that you need to know what you call the language itself. However, by the way, if you find this very interesting and you find for the new tips, for those tips, some kind of the tips for the new people coming to Qatar, definitely what you expect and what you know. If you find this video very useful and very interesting, don't hesitate to give a subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on what you call a notification that you always be knowing or you always be updated whenever I have to upload something new. Do feel free to comment in the comment section if there's something that I've not talked about and you think is very useful, or you think that has enabled you to survive. yes, let us try to be positive, because not everything that I have talked about maybe comparatively to all of you. So we can get in the comment section, we can try to comment positively, and we see how definitely we can learn from one another. I think it's the better way other than getting into what we call negativity in one of. If it's your first time, by the way, don't forget to hesitate and don't forget to follow. Remember, it's always Mex on my TikTok account, Mexcreation, and also Mexcreationtv. On I am Mex on Instagram, Mex Samuel. That is also my Facebook account, Mex Samuel. You can all those where you can be able to voice me up, find me there, and you can try to share some of your free tips of living in Qatar, and definitely some of the best things that definitely you can have, especially when it comes to Qatar. Thank you so much. See you again in the next video.